This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, September the 29th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Looks like we're going to close out September and enter October on a bit of a wet note with some active weather ahead of us. Let's get right to the Skycam imagery this morning. There's a look at the Mount Cheaha Skycam, kind of a pretty shot as we're looking off toward the east a little bit. And a cloudy sky over Jasper as we're looking at the lights beginning to turn off across various cities in central Alabama. We're dealing with, right now, a bit of what I would call a slow-moving cold front that is situated actually across, looks like the Tennessee River Valley this morning, and will be gradually and slowly moving to the south across central Alabama today. And that should give us at least some chance for showers and thunderstorms. That, together with a bit of a weakness in the upper atmosphere that will be increasing in strength over Texas. And, of course, as you can see from the satellite image that's the 500 millibar pattern is overlaid on, there's a good deal of moisture coming out of the Pacific. And so that is setting the stage for what could be 3 or 4 days of fairly wet weather. And along with that, there is some potential that we might see a bit of heavy rain as moisture gets up there fairly significantly, with precipitable water values likely to reach the 2-inch mark. The good news about all of this is that the temperatures across the country seem to be rather what I would describe as mild. Not any real big extremes in terms of cold or warmth as we look at temperatures across the country. Across central Alabama, we're dealing with temperatures in the 60s, and it looks like, at least for a few days, we'll see those temperatures drop back for highs and lows to something a little bit below where we typically are around the 1st of October. There's the development of the surface low over Texas, and you can see it's generating a great deal of rain. And, of course, with the drought that Texas has had, they can certainly use that. And there's a look at radar across the central Alabama area from the Birmingham Doppler radar, and you can see that most of the light rain and showers are across the Tennessee River Valley. QPF is indicating that we are in for a wet period over the next 5 days, coming primarily through about Tuesday as the rain diminishes Tuesday, and by Wednesday we should be dry once again, but it looks like it's going to be wet with up to 5 inches possible along the Gulf Coast. For us, it looks like rainfall values on the order of about 2 to 3 inches will be possible. And as I say, some of those rains could be potentially heavy. Right now, it does not appear that there's a good chance that we'll see severe weather. Storm Prediction Center using the term C-Tex for day 1, and then C-Tex for day 2 along the Gulf Coast primarily. And then for day 3, once again, C-Tex in the vicinity of Georgia and Alabama. So while there is some potential, we'll certainly be watching for that. It does not look like it's a definite severe weather outbreak kind of event. But heavy rain is a possibility. Tropics, we've got that tropical storm named Nadine that just doesn't seem to want to quit. I think Nadine is related to the ever-ready bunny, I think. It just keeps on ticking or keeps on going. I think that's a Timex watch. Anyway, track over the next few days is pretty nearly stationary, but the good news is it's, out in the Atlantic where the only thing it's really affecting is shipping, and therefore, no threats to land. All right, here's the 06Z GFS model run for this morning, and we've got the relatively significant trough over the eastern half of the country, or the eastern third of the country, actually, with a little shortwave over Texas, and that, of course, producing a good deal of rain over the Texas area, as we just showed on radar. Now, the little trough over Texas edges our way slowly on Sunday, and as it does, of course, that's going to bring the rain that much closer and give us a better chances, and we develop a surface low. And as is always the case in these situations, the surface low's track will determine exactly who and where we get the most significant rain. So right now, the GFS suggesting a slightly more northerly track, but the European in fairly close agreement with it. So certainly confidence relatively high out through at least midweek. By Monday, you can see that the little shortwave is on the Mississippi River and is sharpened up nicely as it's intensifying. And, of course, that brings us the surface low into Alabama, whether that's central or northern, it's still a little uncertain, but definitely in our area. And of course, that is the day I think we'll see the most significant chances for heavy rain. The trough closes off on Tuesday, but as Tuesday arrives, the surface low is moving north, and that means that it looks like Tuesday will be an improving day as we see the rains begin to end. By Wednesday, the closed low has opened back up again as it gets caught up in the westerlies, and it's over the eastern Great Lakes, and that means that we should see a dry day on Wednesday, another dry day on Thursday as surface high pressure settles in, and you can see that we're not seeing a dramatic change in heights, the thickness contours. Therefore, it looks like we'll be in the vicinity of typical for this time of year, typical being about 81 for the high and 60 for the low. We stay dry on Friday, so it looks like right now the high school football games should be just fine. But notice that there is a cold front coming through the flow there in the Ohio River Valley and down into northern Arkansas. The front is not likely to make it, very fast because the upper air pattern on Saturday suggests that we do have, the overall troughiness on the eastern half of the country, but it's not making its influence felt in a deep fashion. So while it will bring the front down our way, we certainly by Saturday will probably have to introduce some small chances at least for precipitation for showers, but it looks like the moisture is somewhat limited. Therefore, showers should be relatively widespread. Now, going out into voodoo country, the pattern stays relatively mild for us, but by the middle of October, looks like we're still in that pattern where at least we're got a trough over the eastern half of the country, so that means kind of around normal temperatures or typical temperatures for this time of year. Again, that's probably highs in about the upper 70s and lows in the upper 50s. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. I expect to have the next one posted on Sunday morning by about 8 o'clock. In the meantime, I hope that your weekend is a good one, and be sure to keep that umbrella handy. Have a great day, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.